First is the DeLonghi, and while my other two machines have built-in bean grinders, this one doesn't, so I'm doing it by hand.
Maximum labour, maximum flavour. It's our motto.
Let's see what we've got. The vibrations of the pump are interesting.
Just like our more expensive makers, the DeLonghi's pump delivers 15 bar pressure.
Wow, that doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Though straight from the off, it's struggling with our fine grind.
So it looks like the grind size on this grinder was too fine for...
Yes, gosh. So you think this pump in there basically doesn't have the pressure to force its water through too finely ground
It
coffee?
can't get through that bed of coffee. We have a coarser grind and we have liquid coming out almost immediately.
Second time around, the DeLonghi does produce a full cup, but Dale's not impressed.
That's a little bit thinner than we normally do in a commercial situation.
So you think you're anticipating that's going to be a bit bitter?
Yes, I think that because of this coffee, this will probably taste like underripe fruit and cheap paracetamol.
Cheap paracetamol.
Oh dear, I can't see the painkiller flavour catching on anytime soon. Next, the mid-price Sage Barista Express. It's got an inbuilt grinder which lets you adjust the grind size and amount dispensed.
That's okay, is it?
That's a good sign. The joy of this is because we know our grind size and the water quantity, we can make coffee that tastes exactly the same every time.
You can also tweak the temperature to suit your taste and the type of coffee. The Sage comes with a tamper and razor dosing tool too, allowing you to precisely control the amount of coffee used for each brew.
But it definitely seems to be a machine for the enthusiast.
Once you've achieved the coffee that you do enjoy, everything is there for you to repeat it.
So it's on to our final and most expensive model, the Jura Giga 5. And Dale doesn't have much work to do here at all.
Now this looks much more like a commercial bean-to-cup machine. It tends to brew a little bit faster, and that was at the finest grind setting, so that's going to be the finest we can extract this coffee.
The Jura is fully automated, but does have 21 programmable functions, meaning you can tweak the grind, temperature and strength of your coffee.
So out of the three, which would you choose yourself?
As of this point, I'd be looking at the Sage machine.
Yep.
So, the Sage is Dale's favourite so far, but to get a fuller analysis of each machine, Dale's performing a scientific test with a refractometer.
This is a way of measuring quality of a brewer and how effective it is at brewing.
This device analyses light as it passes through a sample of each brew and works out its extraction rate.
And we're going to get a number which is a percentage TDS, so total dissolved solids.
So it's how much of the coffee bean actually ends up in your drink?
Yeah.
Dale's looking for between 18 and 22%, and the priciest machine is disappointing.
So the final measurement for the Jura is coming in at 14% extraction.
14%.
The Sage machine gave us an 18.1 extraction. And the DeLonghi gave us a 17.9% extraction.
Oh, right. So in terms of the lowest extraction yield was actually
the Jura.
So, after our in-depth scientific analysis, the Sage is still in front, but the proof of the coffee is in the drinking.
Let's see what Steve thinks when he tastes them.
Professional taster Steve will sample the carefully brewed coffee in a random order whilst blindfolded.
Yeah, it's all dark.
Very fetching. Very good. Dale, coffee, please.
First, the brew from our most expensive machine, the Jura.
So that one's a little watery. It doesn't have a lot of body and presence. It's still got some of the sweetness, but it's just lacking texture more than anything.
Next, it's the DeLonghi.
That's got even less body to it. That one's really quite watery, and it's got none of the sweetness of the first one, but it has got a little bit more acidity.
And number 3. Finally, time for the Sage's coffee concoction.
Definitely got more textures than the other, not quite so much sweetness, and again, a little bit more acidity.
So what was your preference out of the 3?
Okay, in first place, I think it would be number 3. In second place, it would be number 1. And in last place would be number 2.
Steve's chosen the exact same order as Dale. The Sage is the winner, followed by the Jura, with the DeLonghi coming in last.